Good morning. This entire article is by subscription only, so we'll put big chunks of it on the screen, and you can pause the video and take your time if you like. And it's a survey by the Wall Street Journal that compares the military-industrial capabilities of the United States and China. Our lawmakers and defense officials, and especially our Pentagon contractors, are saying that we need to dramatically increase our own spending and capabilities in order to counter China. And we'll come back to this question again at the end, which is, where should we start? Because China's industrial sector is enormous, and that has deep implications in defense. Modern warfare is not just soldiers and guns and planes and bombs. It's factory production, logistics, supply chains, access to raw materials, and mining and refining. It's a battle of material production, and it was crucial in the Second World War when the United States converted its factory sector from civilian production to military. Today, it is China who is far better able to make that transition if they needed to. Leading up to World War II, the United States had powerful manufacturing industries, so the civilian economy made the conversion possible to begin with. China has a good running start there. In 2001, China's economy was 4% of the world's GDP, with the United States at 31%. China's now at 17%, while the US is at 26%. The gap there is closing fast, and that headline number conceals some uncomfortable realities about how we calculate our own GDP. The manufacturing value added chart shows that China's manufacturing sector is clearly no longer built around the mass production of low-cost and cheap products. These are intermediate and finished products, and China's factories are now twice the size of the United States. This translates directly into military capability. This is a situation we've reported on before, involving the difficulties of rebuilding the American shipbuilding industry. One Chinese company, singular, built more ships last year than all the shipyards in the United States combined since 1945. Since 2000, China has built more than twice as many Navy ships. That's important because that means that the new Chinese military production is, by definition, the newest generation. That's the context for these charts. We're comparing here 2014 and 2025 and China and the United States. Gray, the top part of the bar, is older equipment, more than a generation old. Dark gray is modern, black is advanced. Looking at ground attack aircraft, China today, 2025, has very few older aircraft deployed compared to modern and advanced. Comparing China's 2025 bar with the United States in 2025, it's roughly the same number of aircraft, just under 1,500 for each side. This is for naval assets. For destroyers, China has almost caught up, and in amphibious vessels, the Chinese are ahead. Here they show the gap closing for vertical missile launchers on Navy ships. China's missile launchers have doubled in 6 years, while it is dropping in American fleets. Those are all deployed systems that are in the field right now. Here, the focus shifts to industrial capacity. China has a lot more factories, tens of thousands more, which could be easily converted to military production. The Chinese are also modernizing factories much faster. Their factory zones have high-speed communications networks that combine manufacturing design, engineering, and actual production into one system. It's shocking to see this in person. Words fail to express the differences in manufacturing proficiency between China and everyone else. Advances in 5G systems and in automation and robotics, this all means that China can rapidly increase production. Next up, we've got logistics and support functions. Much of that is ships, and China has more than anybody. Commercial shipping fleets, percent of world total. Before 1980, nobody had any idea what China's percentage was, so they don't show up in the data from 1960 to 1980. Now it's American shippers who aren't showing up. 1%, maybe. So all the ships are coming from China now. There are some bold plans to revive American shipbuilding to deal with this problem. But even if we can get ships built again, we don't have the people to drive them. The United States has fewer than 10,000 sailors for commercial cargo vessels, and China has 200 times as many. That's why we need different scales on these y-axes here. China has nearly 2 million commercial sailors compared to just 10,000 for the United States. This one is rare earths. We've done this one many times and we won't spend much time on it again. But before a factory can build, they need raw materials, and China's got all those. Here is the people problem. In case of war, we need people in factories, assuming we can get raw materials for them. China's workforce is already at the factory. There are over 160 million factory workers in China today, and the total for all the NATO countries combined is only 60 million. This chart is global military spending by country. The United States already spends lots of money, and we are told that this isn't nearly enough. So back to the original question, where should we start? Which of these problems should we fix first, and then second? Should we focus on rebuilding our shipbuilding industry and recruiting millions of young guys to work on ships? Or should we get them busy digging new mines for rare earth metals? Or is it possible that we should try something else, like get along better with everyone? We have another serious problem which we just learned about. Quantity has a quality all its own. That means that sheer numbers create advantages that go far beyond how good the weapons are. But the framing of the problem in that way assumes that our contractors are building equipment that is superior in quality, and the problem for now is that they cannot build enough of their higher quality gear. But what if we're wrong about all that? Are we certain that our equipment is actually better than what Chinese factories are rolling out? That's a question that India is asking right now, and they've been asking every day since last month. India has an air force that's well stocked with the newest and best Western equipment, and they just lost a bunch of planes and drones to 10-year-old Chinese planes being flown by Pakistanis. This is the football field and staircase in Xiyuan village in Zhejiang. Be good.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Father, thank you for this precious brother who has come. Thank you for making